Let's join together in celebrating this once-in-a-century event, the Centenary Convocation. Our salutation to the academic procession. Kindly keep standing till the dignitaries have taken their positions on the dais. In the background plays the magnificent Jamia Tirana, an ode to Jamia symbolizing the eternal hope that Jamia embodies with its words, Dayare Shokh Mira, Shehre Arzu Mira. This is the land of our hopes. This is the land of our dreams, echoing and uniting us across time. May 1,000 dreams and fortunes tied to Jamia be realized. May the aspirations of its students be fulfilled. And now it's time for the group photograph capturing the memorable moment of this grand convocation. The convocation photograph. Thank you. Members of the procession, please take your positions in the order that you entered. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to play the national anthem. I request everyone to kindly rise for the anthem as we pay our respects to the nation.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. Kindly be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, a warm and heartfelt welcome to all on this important occasion. We are deeply honored and humbled by the esteemed presence of the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, the chief guest of this centenary convocation. Honorable Sir, your dedication and commitment to the betterment of our country is inspiring beyond measure. Jamia extends a very warm welcome to the Honorable Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan. We are extremely indebted at your kind acceptance of our invitation to preside over this special centenary convocation. I extend a very warm welcome to other dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Sudesh Dhankar, wife of the Honorable Vice President, the Second Lady of India, whose effort and work in the area of groundwater conservation is highly commendable. Jamia extends a very, very hearty welcome to you, Madam. Professor Najma Akhtar, Vice Chancellor, Jamia Millia Islamia. Other dignitaries present in the function, former Vice Chancellors of Jamia, diplomats, heads of missions, representatives of embassies, officers of Jamia, the finance officer, controller of examination, deans of faculties, heads of departments, directors of centers, faculty members, members of the press, recipients of the gold medals, and my dear students. In keeping with the university's long-standing tradition, we commence with the recitation of a verse from the Holy Quran. I invite Dr. Shahnawaz Fayaz, Assistant Professor, Department of Urdu, for the Qiraat, followed by its translation in Hindustani by Professor Danish Iqbal from the MCRC.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. خلق الإنسان من علق. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. صدق الله العظيم.
शुरू अल्लाह के नाम से जो निहायत मेहरबान और बहुत दयावान है। पढ़ो पढ़ो अपने परवरदिगार का नाम लेकर, जिसने तमाम ब्रह्मांड को पैदा किया, जिसने इंसान को एक कतरे से पैदा किया। पढ़ो, और तुम्हारा परवरदिगार बड़ा करीम, बहुत दयालु है, जिसने कलम के जरिए से इल्म सिखाया और इंसान को वो सारी बातें सिखाईं जिनका उसको ज्ञान न था। बेशक अल्लाह ने जो कहा है सच कहा है।
Thank you. May I request the Vice Chancellor, Professor Najma Akhtar, to present a small token of appreciation to welcome the Honorable Vice President Shri Dhankar. Thank you, sir. May I request the Vice Chancellor to present a small token of appreciation to welcome the Honorable Union Minister of Education, Shri Pradhan. A small token of appreciation to welcome the Second Lady, Dr. Sudesh Dhankar. the Vice-Chancellor to present a small token of appreciation to welcome the Honorable Union Minister of Education, Shri Pradhan. Thank you, Honorable Sir. Thank you, Madam. The centenary convocation is extraordinary as degrees and gold medals for the 2019 and 2020 batches will be conferred on this day. On this solemn occasion, it is only befitting that we begin by reflecting on Jamia's 100-year-old glorious past. The men and women who set up this historic institution in 1920 were impassioned with the idea of starting a national university that would espouse the cause of the yet unborn nation. This was synergized by the father of the nation's fervid call to boycott the colonial system of education. Born in the turbulent times of the Raj, Jamia's founders strengthened Gandhi's call by starting the new system of education, famously called the Nai Taaleem, a pedagogical experimentation that would nurture modernity and tradition and foster an ideal of a university education that rests on the notions of social conscience, fraternity, and nation building. In 1962, Jamia became a deemed university and was made a central university in December 1988 by a special act of Parliament. Born of such history, Jamia shaped into an institution of excellence in learning, teaching and research, offering an impressive range of courses through its 10 faculties, 44 departments, 29 research centers, making it an attractive campus for its vast and diverse community of over 18,000 students from across the country and beyond. The current phase of the university, under the leadership of its Vice-Chancellor, Professor Najma Akhtar, can be termed as its golden period, as the university lays claims to the highest national and international rankings it has received so far. Jamia has retained third position in the universities category in the National Institutional Ranking Framework, India Rankings 2023, for the second consecutive year. As for the NAC, she spearheaded the university to attaining the highest A++ grade in 2020. In the international rankings, Jamia achieved a major milestone, securing a position among the top 10 institutions in India in Times Higher Education Asia University Rankings 2023. With this brief introduction, may I request the Registrar JMI, Professor Nazim Hussain Jafri, to please begin with the formal proceedings of the convocation. Sir.
Madam Vice Chancellor, may I, with your permission, declare the convocation open? With the permission of the Vice Chancellor, I declare the convocation open.
Thank you, sir. Moving on, I will request the Vice-Chancellor to please present the annual report. But before that, I take great pleasure in introducing the Vice-Chancellor, a recipient of the Padma Shri Award conferred by the President of India. Professor Najma Akhtar holds the rare distinction of being the first woman to be appointed as the Vice-Chancellor of a central university, also making her the first woman Vice-Chancellor to lead the 100-year-old Jamia. An educational administrator and institutional builder, Professor Akhtar earned national and international accolades, including Commonwealth Administrative Fellowship, and has studied at prestigious international institutions in the UK. She served as the founder director of CIMAT and also as professor in head NIPA Delhi. She's a member of the Senate and serves on the board of governors of prestigious Indian and foreign universities. Also recipient of the National Award by Department of Adult Education, Ministry of Education. Recently, she was awarded the Ministry of Defence conferred upon her the title of Colonel Commandant. Her role in the realization of NEP 2020 as part of its implementation committee is well known. At Jamia, she has promoted internationalization of education by forging and strengthening academic collaborations with universities across the globe. She has been accredited with getting Jamia the coveted A++ grade by NAC, and the university now figures among the top 3 universities in India. With this short introduction, may I now invite the Vice-Chancellor to please present the annual report. Madam.
भारत के माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी, माननीय श्रीमती डॉक्टर सुदेश धनखड़ जी, ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड स्किल डेवलपमेंट एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी, अतिथिगण जो आज हमारे बीच में हैं, लर्नेड मेंबर्स ऑफ द एकेडमिक प्रोसेशन, मेरे प्रिय सहकर्मी, स्टूडेंट्स, प्रेस के सदस्य, देवियों और सज्जनों, नमस्कार, गुड मॉर्निंग एंड आदाब। आज इस अवसर पर मैं अपने मुख्य अतिथि भारत के महामहिम उपराष्ट्रपति श्री जगदीश धनखड़ जी और श्रीमती सुदेश धनखड़ जी का हार्दिक स्वागत करने में बेहद गर्व महसूस कर रही हूं। मुझे जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया के सेंटेनरी ईयर कन्वोकेशन में ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन, स्किल डेवलपमेंट एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी का स्वागत करते हुए भी अपार खुशी महसूस हो रही है। मैं आप सब अतिथिगण जो आज हैं और स्टूडेंट्स जो आज अपनी डिग्रीज लेने के लिए 2019 और 2020 की डिग्रीज लेने आए हैं, आप सभी का स्वागत करते हुए मुझे बहुत खुशी है। आपको बहुत कई सालों के बाद देखा है, मगर मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि आप आए हैं। आज इस मुबारक मौके पर माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय श्रीमती सुदेश धनखड़ जी और श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी की उपस्थिति हम सब के लिए प्रेरणा का स्रोत है। महामहिम उपराष्ट्रपति जी, आप हमारे राष्ट्र को परिभाषित करने वाले लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों के प्रति दृढ़ प्रतिबद्धता के साथ भारतीय गणराज्य की सेवा में तत्पर हैं। आप एक अनुभवी विधायक, सांसद और एडवोकेट के रूप में पूरे देश में अमिट छाप छोड़ रहे हैं। एक सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी के रूप में हम भारत की माननीय राष्ट्रपति, जो कि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी के विजिटर भी हैं, उनके साथ हम खास नजदीकियां महसूस करते हैं और भारत के उपराष्ट्रपति के साथ भी हम उसी प्रकार की निकटता का अनुभव करते हैं। मैं खास तौर से श्रीमती सुदेश धनखड़ जी के गरिमामयी उपस्थिति के लिए उनका आभार प्रकट करती हूं। मैडम, मैं कह सकती हूं कि हर कामयाब आदमी के पीछे एक कामयाब तरीन औरत का हाथ होता है। माननीय शिक्षा मंत्री महोदय, पेट्रोलियम और गैस मंत्री के रूप में प्रधानमंत्री उज्ज्वला योजना को आपने अनुकरणीय योगदान के लिए आपको उज्ज्वला पुरुष के रूप से जाना जाता था। अब आप राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन और कौशल विकास और उद्यमिता के बढ़ावा देने के लिए की दिशा में आपने अथक प्रयासों के साथ आप युवा भारतीयों की जीवन में रोशनी ला रहे हैं। आज सबकी इस सभागार में तशरीफ आवरी, आपका आना यहाँ पे शिक्षा की उन्नति और युवाओं के सशक्तिकरण के लिए हमारी सरकार की प्रतिबद्धता का जीता जागता प्रमाण है। हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व वाली सरकार युवाओं के देश की प्रगति, समाज की जरूरतें और आशाओं को पूरा करने की दिशा में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रही है और उन्हें प्रोत्साहित कर रही है। मैं जामिया की शानदार उपलब्धियां को माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी और माननीय धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी के प्रति हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करना अपना कर्तव्य समझती हूँ। महोदय, मैंने प्रिपरेशन और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करने का हुनर आपसे ही सीखा है। अब आप सबके उदार समर्थन के कारण ही देश के शिक्षा के लक्ष्य के अनुरूप जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया ने साझा दृष्टिकोण और मिशन को प्राप्त करने के लिए विविध टीम बनाने में मैं सक्षम रही हूँ। ये मेरी टीम आपके सामने ही बैठी है, जिसने अपने अपनी जगह पे अपने अपने सब्जेक्ट में बेहतरीन काम किया है और जामिया का अभूतपूर्व नाम और सम्मान दिलाने में कामयाब रहे हैं। आज जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया अनप्रेसिडेंटेड गौरव हासिल करने के लिए राष्ट्रीय विश्वविद्यालयों के बीच तीसरे स्थान पर NIRF रैंकिंग द्वारा प्रमाणित है। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत सरकार के विभिन्न विभागों के मार्गदर्शन के साथ एक सुखद समन्वय में मैंने अपने संस्थान के लिए एक उज्जवल भविष्य की कल्पना की और सभी को पारदर्शिता के साथ काम करने के लिए प्रेरित किया। इसके नतीजे में जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया ने अपनी उपलब्धियों के साथ निरंतर नई ऊंचाइयों को हासिल किया। मैं अपने इनलाइटन प्रधानमंत्री के प्रगतिशील नेतृत्व के अंतर्गत काम करना अपना और जामिया का सौभाग्य समझती हूँ और उनके निरंतर और अटूट समर्थन और परिवर्तनकारी नेतृत्व के आधार पर ही संभव है कि हम जामिया को तेजी से आगे बढ़ाने और उसके विकास में अपना योगदान देने में हम सब सक्षम हुए हैं। वर्तमान में हर क्षेत्र में जामिया की लगातार और एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी प्रगति हुई है। जामिया ने उन तमाम उपलब्धियों का क्रेडिट हमारे लीडर्स को ही दिया है और हर साल उसमें बढ़ना जरूरी है, ये माना है और उसके लिए निरंतर कोशिश कर रहे हैं। मुझे ये कहते हुए बहुत खुशी है कि आज का जामिया सर्वश्रेष्ठ राष्ट्रीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय विश्वविद्यालयों के मुकाबले अत्याधुनिक सुविधाओं, उन्नत बुनियादी ढांचे और उभरते क्षेत्र में नए विभागों और पाठ्यक्रम के और एक्सीलेंट एलुमनाई प्लेसमेंट के साथ उपलब्धियों के स्तंभ के रूप में स्थापित हो चुका है। आज मैं इस ऐतिहासिक कन्वोकेशन का हिस्सा बनकर खुद को बहुत भाग्यशाली मानती हूँ। ये जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया के 100 साल लंबे गौरवशाली इतिहास का एक महत्वपूर्ण मील का पत्थर है। आपको अभी बताया गया था कि जामिया 1920 में स्टार्ट हुआ था और आज अब 2020 में ये इसने 100 साल पूरे किए हैं। ये पीरियड जो था बहुत ही अंधेरा था क्योंकि इसके अंदर कोविड था। 2020 में कोविड हमारे बीच में था, हम इस महामारी के चपेट में आए हुए थे, लेकिन उसके बाद भी हमारे स्टूडेंट्स पढ़ते रहे। उस पीरियड में हमारे टीचर्स पढ़ाते रहे और आज जो आपके सामने बैठे हैं डिग्री लेने के लिए, वो हमारे 2019 के और 2020 के बच्चे हैं और इनका हक है कि ये आज आएं और आप जैसे महानुभावों के हाथ से डिग्री लें। इन स्टूडेंट्स के ज्ञान अर्जन करने में अपने कौशल को निखारा है इन्होंने। ये इनमें से बहुत लोग आज जगह जगह काम पे हैं और सक्सेसफुल हैं। आज इस सेंटेनरी ईयर कन्वोकेशन में 406 गोल्डन PhD डिग्रीज मिलेंगी और 400 गोल्ड मेडल्स मिलेंगे, क्योंकि ये 2 साल का है। गोल्डन पीएचडी डिग्रीज इसलिए कि वो हमारा सेंटिनरी ईयर है, और उनकी डिग्रीज आप देखेंगे तो आप खुश होंगे उसको। ये वो बच्चे हैं जिन्होंने कोरोना महामारी के कठिन समय में भी अपनी भावनाओं पे नियंत्रण किया, अपने स्वास्थ्य का ध्यान रखा और तमाम परेशानियों को डट के सामना किया और जामिया को और मुल्क की विरासत को संभाला। असमंजस के समय भी कुछ कर गुजरने के जुनून में के साथ अनुशासन और ईमानदारी से अपना विद्यार्थी धर्म का पालन किया। इसलिए इस सेंटिनरी ईयर कन्वोकेशन में न केवल शैक्षिक यात्रा के लिए बल्कि राष्ट्र के सच्चे सैनिक के रूप में अपनी प्रतिबद्धता की भावना को प्रकट करने के लिए ये आए हैं और आपके हाथों से डिग्री प्राप्त करना चाहते हैं। महोदय, मुझे ये बताते हुए गर्व हो रहा है कि जामिया को 2021 यानी सन 21 में नैक द्वारा प्रतिष्ठित A++ सम्मान दिया गया। अभी पिछले महीने जून में भारत सरकार के शिक्षा मंत्रालय द्वारा जारी NIRF रैंकिंग में लगातार दूसरे वर्ष जामिया को देश के शीर्ष 3 विश्वविद्यालयों में स्थान दिया गया और शिक्षा मंत्री के हाथों हम लोगों को एक इनाम भी दिया गया। आपको ये जानकर खुशी होगी कि जामिया ने पिछले कुछ वर्षों में इंटरनेशनल रैंकिंग में भी बहुत कमाल दिखाया है। जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया ने हाल के वर्षों में ग्लोबल लेवल पर शिक्षा और अनुसंधान में एक्सीलेंस के साथ प्रभावी उन्नति की है। जामिया अब राष्ट्रीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर एक जाना माना नाम है। जामिया के अनेक प्रोफेसरों ने अच्छे अनुसंधान की वजह से बहुत सारे प्राइजेस पाए हैं, बहुत सारा इज्जत पाई है और हमारे प्रोफेसर जाहिद अशरफ साहब को साइंस में प्रेसिडेंट्स अवार्ड भी मिला है। जामिया नॉलेज कंस्ट्रक्शन का एक महत्वपूर्ण केंद्र है। हम डेवलपिंग टेक्नोलॉजी और डेवलप टेक्नोलॉजी में निवेश के साथ गुणवत्तापूर्ण शिक्षा प्रदान करने की प्रभावशाली परिवर्तन कर रहे हैं। ग्रोथ अप्रोच, ठीक है। अब जामिया एक ब्रांड की तरह, जामिया ब्रांड की तरह से स्थापित हो चुका है। जामिया को नई शिक्षा नीति में भी हम लगातार हर चीज जो शिक्षा नीति में आई है उसे हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं, नए कोर्सेज भी खोल रहे हैं और हमारे यहाँ 10 फैकल्टी, 44 डिपार्टमेंट्स और 30 रिसर्च सेंटर्स हैं और 7 स्कूल भी हैं हमारे बीच में। इस तरह हमारे साथ बहुत सारे फॉरेन स्टूडेंट्स भी हैं और हमारे प्रोग्राम पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम्स, पोस्ट डॉक भी है और PhD एंड ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम और डिप्लोमास भी हैं। और अपनी हमने एशिया के लाइन में भी हम एशियन THE जो टाइम्स हायर एजुकेशन है उसने जब एशिया के संस्थानों को लिस्ट किया उसमें इंडिया की यूनिवर्सिटीज में हमारा 8th रैंक है। जामिया के एक लास्ट में बताना चाहूंगी कि जामिया के अब नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी की वजह से हमको हमारी विजन है कि हम मिडिल ईस्ट में स्टार्ट करें और अपने कंट्री से निकल के जामिया के जगह जगह सेंटर्स खोलें या जामिया के कैंपसेस खोलें। इसमें हमको इस काम में हमको शिक्षा मंत्री जी से निवेदन है कि वो हमारी मदद करें। इस अवसर पर एक चीज और बताना चाहूंगी मैं कि हम बहुत दिनों से हमारे यहाँ डेंटिस्ट्री है, फिजियोथेरेपी है, फर्स्ट एड हेल्थ सेंटर्स हैं, बट वास्तव में जामिया में मेडिकल कॉलेज का अभाव रहा है और कुलपति के रूप में अपने कार्यकाल के दौरान शुरू से और आखिर तक मैं अपने शिक्षकों, कर्मचारियों और छात्रों की ओर से जामिया मिलिया में एक मेडिकल कॉलेज स्थापित करने के लिए मांग करती रही हूँ। कुछ समय पूर्व इसके लिए मैंने माननीय प्रधानमंत्री और माननीय राष्ट्रपति के सामने भी ये अनुरोध रखा था। कुछ समय पूर्व माननीय धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी से मुलाकात हुई तो इस सौभाग्य के बाद एक आशा की कुछ किरणें नजर आईं। आज सेंटेनरी ईयर कन्वोकेशन में ये ऐलान करते हुए मुझे अपार खुशी हो रही है। मेरा सिर गर्व से ऊंचा हो रहा है कि हमारी दूरदर्शी और उदार सरकार ने हमें मेडिकल कॉलेज की स्थापना की स्वीकृति दे दी है। हमारी मेहनत सफल हुई है, हमारे वर्षों का सपना साकार हुआ है और हमारे स्थानीय समुदाय और समस्त दिल्ली निवासी इस बात से बहुत खुश हैं। हम दोबारा अभिनंदन करते हैं और धन्यवाद करते हैं अपने शिक्षा मंत्री जी का, अपने प्रधानमंत्री जी का और राष्ट्रपति जी का, जिन्होंने हमको इस चीज में हेल्प किया, और उपराष्ट्रपति जी का भी, क्योंकि इस आज के दिन ये हमें खुशी की खबर मिली है और आप हमारे बीच हैं। लास्ट में एंड में मैं अपने स्टूडेंट्स से मुखातिब होंगी। मैं आपको एड्रेस करती हूँ कि आप जामिया मिलिया के परिसर को छोड़कर जा रहे हैं, आप अलविदा कह रहे हैं, तो मैं आपसे कहूंगी कि जो शिक्षा आपने यहाँ प्राप्त की है उसका दृढ़ता से सम्मान करें और भविष्य के अपने सभी प्रयासों पर अपने अल्मा मैटर और अपने देश को गौरवान्वित करें। याद रखें, आपकी सफलता, आपकी उपलब्धियां आपके विश्वविद्यालय को और आपके देश की सफलता को दर्शाती है और इसमें आपकी शिक्षा को भरपूर देखरेख की है। इस देश ने आपकी शिक्षा की भरपूर देखरेख की है, इस यूनिवर्सिटी ने देखरेख की है, इसलिए जामिया परिवार में आपकी परवरिश हुई है। ये जिम्मेदारी है आपकी कि आप इसका नाम ऊंचा करें। मैं आपको आश्वस्त करती हूं कि आपका भविष्य सक्षम हाथों में है और आप डेफिनेटली ये सक्सेस पाएंगे। अंत में मैं महामहिम उपराष्ट्रपति जी, शिक्षा मंत्री जी का दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूं और आज वो और मैडम हमारे बच्चों के बीच में हैं और उनको आशीर्वाद दे रहे हैं। इसके लिए हम सब मिलकर उनका कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद दे रहे हैं। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Madam. It is an immense privilege to introduce the Honorable Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan. Honorable Minister also headed the key portfolio as Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas from 2014 to July 2021 and earlier served as the Minister of Steel. After serving in different positions in the BJP, he was elected to the Lok Sabha in 2004 from Deoghar. He was also elected the member of the Rajya Sabha for 2 terms each from Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. Earlier, he was a member of the 14th Lok Sabha. Shri Dharmendra Pradhan has been the longest serving Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas in the history of independent India. As Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Pradhan initiated numerous pivotal initiatives aimed at enhancing the skill and knowledge of India's workforce through reskilling and upskilling programs. In July 2021, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan became the Minister of Education in the second Prime Minister Modi's ministry. He successfully steered lakhs of school board and university students when India was hit by the horrifying second wave of the pandemic. He is the force behind the National Education Policy 2020 and is a votary of the idea that the 21st century is the century of knowledge, in which India will emerge as a global leader as he seeks to build a competitive educational ecosystem. May I now invite the Honourable Minister of Education, Shri Pradhan Sir, to please deliver this speech. Sir.
नमस्कार। जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया विश्वविद्यालय की सेंटिनरी कन्वोकेशन में आज उपस्थित भारत के परम सम्माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति माननीय श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी, मंच पे उपस्थित डॉक्टर सुदेश धनखड़ जी, जामिया के वाइस चांसलर प्रोफेसर नजमा अख्तर जी, जामिया के पूर्व वाइस चांसलर दिल्ली के पूर्व एलजी आदरणीय नजीब जंग साहब, मेरे साथी लोकसभा के सदस्य, जामिया कोर्ट की मेंबर मित्र दानिश अली जी, राज्यसभा के वरिष्ठ सदस्य आदरणीय जावेद अली खान जी और यहां उपस्थित सभी फैकल्टी मेंबर्स, अन्य स्टाफ्स, विद्यार्थी मित्रगण, मीडिया के साथीगण। अच्छा, मैं यहां आके खड़ा हो गया। मेरे को उपराष्ट्रपति जी ने एक लाइन लिखा दिखाया टाइम टेबल पे कि टाइम हैज टू स्ट्रिक्टली एडहियर। तो हमारी चेयरमैन तो ही राज्यसभा में, तो हमको तो बात को तो ध्यान रहता ही है, लेकिन आज मौका था, शायद ये फिजिकल कन्वोकेशन बहुत सालों के बाद हो रही है, कोरोना के कारण नहीं हो पा रही है, इसलिए स्वाभाविक आदरणीय प्रोफेसर नजमा अख्तर जी थोड़ा इमोशनल होना, भावुक होना स्वाभाविक था, पर ऐसे ही टीचर ही तो हैं। ऑल प्रोफेसर हैज फिक्स प्रिपरेशन, 45 मिनट्स लेक्चरर, आज वो नहीं हुई। और ये जो शायद हमारे एंकर आदरणीय बहन थी, वो भी उसी मोल्ड पे थी। जो लिखा है, तैयारी किया है, तो पूरा ही तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा। मैं आप सभी के बीच में आके खुद को एनलाइटेड फील करता हूं। मैं कभी जामिया की इतिहास के बारे में जब विद्यार्थी रहते हुए, मित्रों मैं स्टूडेंट मूवमेंट से आया हूं, देश की यूथ मूवमेंट से आया हूं, भली भांति देश की छात्र युवाओं की मनस्थिति और कैंपस में क्या चल रहा है उसके बारे में थोड़ा बहुत खबर तो कई सालों से रखता हूं, आज भी रखता हूं। संयोग से शिक्षा विभाग की काम भी अभी प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मेरे को दिया है। जामिया को जन्म होते हुए 100 साल पूरा हो चुके हैं। 1920, आज 2023। उसी 100 साल में देश आजाद हुआ। आजादी के आंदोलन को बढ़ाने के लिए जामिया बनी थी। आप ही के दिग्दर्शन के कारण, आपकी लीडरशिप के कारण, आपकी नेतृत्व के कारण आज आजादी के उपरांत हमने 75 साल जर्नी भी पूरा किए हैं। इसी क्षण में, इसी कार्यकाल के दौरान विश्व में हमने 5 नंबर की इकोनॉमी भी बने और इसी क्षण में हमें आने वाले 25 साल की देश की अमृत काल की तैयारी भी कर रहे हैं। और मेरे मन में कोई संदेह नहीं, ये जो आने वाले 25 साल की देश की नेतृत्व जाएगा, जो जर्नी होगा, उसमें से जामिया 1 नंबर स्थान पे रहेगा। इंटेलेक्चुअल लीडरशिप देने में मेरे मन में कोई संदेह नहीं है। भारत एक बहुत पुरानी प्रजातंत्र है, मदर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी भारत को कहा जाता है। भारत एक नई महाशक्ति करके दुनिया में उभर रही है, ये नई बात नहीं है। भारत सदियों से, मनुष्य सभ्यता के आरंभ से भारत की अपने आप में ह्यूमैनिटी के प्रति सोच है, देन है। अप्स एंड डाउन्स तो लगे रहता है, लेकिन इसमें कोई संदेह नहीं, आज हम एक विशेष परिस्थिति में पहुंचे हैं जब मैं जामिया की कन्वोकेशन में उपस्थित हूं। मित्रों, दो विषय कहूंगा। एक, जिसके बारे में आदरणीय वाइस चांसलर मैडम ने कहा कि हम सभी लोग मिलके 2020 में ठीक 100 साल बाद जामिया की स्थापना के देश में राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति बनी है। यह शिक्षा नीति केवल भारत की 140 करोड़ नागरिकों की इंटेलेक्चुअल कैपेसिटी को बढ़ाने के लिए नहीं। आज भारत इसी स्थिति में पहुंचा है जब हम G20 की प्रेसिडेंसी की दायित्व में है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अभी अभी कहा कि भारत वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड और ग्लोबल साउथ, यानी भारत विश्व की जो जरूरतमंद देश है, इन्हीं के बीच में सेतु की काम करेगा, ब्रिज की काम करेगा। और उस ब्रिज में प्रमुख पिलर जामिया जैसे इंस्टीट्यूशन होंगे और एनईपी उसकी फिलोसफी होगा। और जामिया तो एक लैबोरेटरी है। खूब कम यूनिवर्सिटी देश में होंगे जहां प्राइमरी स्कूल से लेके हाई एंड डीप टेक रिसर्च की व्यवस्था होगी। इसलिए एनईपी को एंड टू एंड एक एक्सपेरिमेंट करना, उसकी लेयर्स को अनुभव करना, नए मेथोडोलॉजी निकलना, नए पेडागोजी निकलना, नए सिर्फ एक साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी उद्भावन और आविष्कार नहीं होती है। मनुष्य स्वभाव भी समय रहते रहते आगे बढ़ता है। जामिया एनईपी आधारित एक ग्लोबल रेस्पॉन्सिबल नागरिकों को बनाएगा। जो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि ब्रिज हम बनाएंगे दुनिया के अंदर असमानता बंद करने के लिए, नया ऑर्डर्स लाने के लिए, उसमें जामिया अपना जिम्मेवारी निभाएगा, इसमें मेरे कोई संदेह नहीं है। मित्रों, मैं जब जामिया की कन्वोकेशन में आया हूं, पुराने बातों को हम कुछ मिलके याद कर रहे हैं। उस समय में एक ऐसे शख्सियत की नाम लेना, और जब परम आदरणीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी मंच पे हैं, वो उन शख्सियत को तो याद करना हमारी फर्ज बनता है। डॉक्टर जाकिर हुसैन जामिया की वाइस चांसलर रहे। डॉक्टर जाकिर हुसैन साहब देश की दूसरे उपराष्ट्रपति रहे। डॉक्टर वाइस जाकिर हुसैन साहब देश की तीसरे राष्ट्रपति भी बने और मूल शिक्षक ही तो थे। मूल शिक्षक ही थे। जब उन्होंने राज्यसभा में अपने दायित्व ग्रहण किया, उस कुर्सी पर बैठे जहां आज आदरणीय धनखड़ साहब बैठे हैं, तब उन्होंने अपना जो बयान दिया था उसको मैं आज के सामने, ऐसे वो बयान नया तो नहीं, आपने कई बार पढ़ा होगा, लेकिन मैं आज कन्वोकेशन में उस बात को उल्लेख करना, कोट करना उचित मानता हूं। उसी में शायद एनईपी है, उसी में शायद प्रधानमंत्री जी की विजन है, उसी में शायद 140 करोड़ देशवासियों की कमिटमेंट है। कोट, एजुकेशन इज द लाइफ ब्रेथ ऑफ आवर डेमोक्रेटिक लाइफ। A people as old as young as ours can justifiably look upon education as the chief informative force of their life. It is education that can give us a common vision of the future we are striving to fashion and generate in us the intellectual and moral energy to fashion it. आगे कहते हूं, education alone can preserve the old values worth preserving. जो मूल्यों को कभी कभी मनुष्य इसी विषय में उलझता है, समाज इसी विषय में उलझता है, क्या पुराने वैल्यू को छोड़ देना है क्या? लेकिन डॉक्टर जाकिर हुसैन कहते हैं कि एजुकेशन हमको दृष्टि देता है कौन सी पुराने वैल्यू को पकड़ के रखना, किसी को छोड़ना, वो जजमेंट एजुकेशन ही हमको देता है। वो आगे कहते हैं, एजुकेशन एलोन कैन गिव अस अ न्यू वैल्यूज वर्थ स्ट्राइविंग फॉर द फ्यूचर, अनकोट। भविष्य में कौन सी विषय को हमें ग्रहण करना है, इसी की ज्ञान भी हमें एजुकेशन देती है। मित्रों, हमें सोचने की आवश्यकता है। देश में आरटीई लागू है, देश में एनईपी लागू है, देश में टेक्नोलॉजी तेजी से अनफोल्ड हो रहा है, संघर्ष चल रहा है। चैट जीपीटी ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस को कितना ओवर पावर कर रहा है। इस विषय में शायद डॉक्टर जाकिर हुसैन साहब की उस बयान, उस मार्गदर्शन, उस प्रेरणादायी 2 शब्द, शिक्षा वो विधा है जो पुराने कौन सी मूल्यों को हम लेके आधार बनाए, शिक्षा वो विधा है जो भविष्य को देखने के लिए कौन सी रास्ता अपनाए, इसी की समीक्षा करना, मीमांसा करना माध्यम की नाम है एजुकेशन। मैं अंत में इतना कहूं, आज सारा विश्व भारत की ओर देख रहा है, भारत की व्यवस्था की ओर देख रहा है। उस व्यवस्था और अपेक्षा को पूरा करने की माध्यम एजुकेशन के अलावा, ज्ञान के अलावा कोई नहीं है। मैं आज जब हम उपराष्ट्रपति जी के साथ कुछ क्षण कुछ विषय पे उलझ गए थे, तब आपके अंदर खूब ताली हुई। मैं समझ नहीं पाया, हम दोनों हक्के बक्के रह के हुआ क्या मामला, ऐसा कौन सी अच्छी चीज हो गई कि आपने इतना आपने स्नेह दिखाया या आपने इतना हर्ष प्रकट किया। जाते जाते शायद शिक्षक तो है ही, कान पकड़ना उनकी आदत ही है, ऐसे मेरे बड़ी बहन भी है, तो उन्होंने भीशी मैडम ने कहा कि देखो ये आपने चिट्ठी दिया है मेडिकल कॉलेज के बारे में। आज ये चिट्ठी उनको मिला है 12 जुलाई को। हम सभी के कमिटमेंट में हमें जामिया को एक हॉस्पिटल नहीं बनाना है, विश्व की स्वास्थ्य समस्या की एडवांस रिसर्च सेंटर बनाना है। यही हम सभी के कमिटमेंट हो। मैं फिर जो मेडल आज लेंगे, जिनको आज डिग्री मिलेगी, इन सभी को शुभेच्छा देता हूं। आपकी जीवन सिर्फ आपके तक सीमित ना रहे, इस मनुष्यता के लिए, इस मानवता के लिए, इस ब्रह्मांड के लिए आपकी कमिटमेंट रहे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. In your presence, we find inspiration and motivation to strive for greater heights. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to present the candidates for the award of their degrees. University Convocation marks a moment of celebration and achievement where we come together to honor the accomplishments of our graduating students and wish them success in their future endeavors. I request the registrar to begin with the proceedings to confer the degrees on the candidates belonging to different faculties.
May Vice Chancellor may allow the candidates to be presented.
Please present the candidates.
Now I request Professor Simi Farhat Bashir, Dean Faculty of Natural Sciences, Professor Muhammad Ishaq, Dean Faculty of Humanities and Languages, Professor Muhammad Muslim Khan, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, to present the candidates and the Vice Chancellor to admit them to their respective degrees, diplomas.
The students of the Faculty of Natural Sciences, Faculty of Humanities and Languages, and Faculty of Social Sciences may please stand up at their respective places.
We, the Deans of Faculty of Natural Sciences, Faculty of Humanities and Languages, and Faculty of Social Sciences, pray that these candidates belonging to our faculties and whose names are set out in the lists and who have been examined and found qualified for PhD, postgraduate, undergraduate degrees and diplomas may be admitted to their respective degrees, diplomas.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Vice Chancellor of Jamia Millia Islamia, I admit you all to the degrees and diplomas, and I charge you that ever in your thought and action you prove yourself worthy of the honor conferred on you today.
Now this.
Let me go.
The students may kindly be seated.
Now I request Professor Mini Shaji Thomas, Dean Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Professor Hina Zia, Dean Faculty of Architecture and Acoustics, and Professor Kia Sarkar, Dean Faculty of Dentistry, to present the candidates and the Vice Chancellor to admit them to their respective degree diplomas.
We,
The students of the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Faculty of Architecture and Acoustics, and Faculty of Dentistry may please stand at their respective places.
we, the Deans of Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Faculty of Architecture and Acoustics, and Faculty of Dentistry, pray that these candidates belonging to our faculties and whose names are set out in the list and who have been examined and found qualified for PhD, postgraduate, undergraduate degrees and diplomas may be admitted to the respective degrees and diplomas.
उन अधिकारों के आधार पर जो कुलपति जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया के रूप में मुझे प्राप्त हैं, मैं आपको डिग्रीज और डिप्लोमा प्रदान करती हूं और निर्देश देती हूं कि आप अपने वचन और कर्मों से स्वयं को इस सम्मान के योग्य सिद्ध करें.
The students may kindly be seated.
Now I request Professor Iqbal Hussain, Dean Faculty of Law, Professor Sara Begum, Dean Faculty of Education, Professor Mamoon Nomani, Dean Faculty of Fine Arts, and Professor Amilur Hassan Ansari, Dean Faculty of Management Studies, to present the candidates and the Vice Chancellor to admit them to their respective degrees diplomas.
The students of the Faculty of Law, Faculty of Education, Faculty of Fine Arts, and Faculty of Management Studies may please stand up at their respective places.
We, the Deans of Faculty of Law, Faculty of Education, Faculty of Fine Arts, and Faculty of Management Studies, pray that these candidates belonging to our faculties and whose names are set out in the list and who have been examined and found qualified for PhD, postgraduate, undergraduate degrees and diplomas may be admitted to the respective degrees diplomas.
उन इख्तियारात की रूह से जो बहैसियत शेखुल जामिया जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया मुझे हासिल हैं, मैं आपको डिग्री और डिप्लोमा अता करती हूं और हिदायत करती हूं कि आप हमेशा अपने कौलो अमल से खुद को इस इजाज़त का अहल साबित करेंगे.
The students may kindly be seated. Thank you. We shall now have the presentation of gold medals and PhDs. May I request the Honorable Vice President of India to please present the gold medals to the following toppers. Mehak Ashraf Mir, MTech, Electronics and Communication from the Faculty of Engineering and Technology. Mehak Ashraf Mir, MTech, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Department of Electronics and Communication. Gold medal. Yash Kumar, BA Honours Sanskrit, Faculty of Humanities and Languages, Department of Sanskrit. Wasim Ahmed, MA Urdu, Faculty of Humanities and Languages, Department of Urdu. Thank you, Honorable Sir. May I now request Honorable Dr. Sudesh Dhankar to please present a gold medal to Vartika Chadha, Bachelor of Dental Studies, Faculty of Dentistry. Now the presentation of the PhDs. Unanza Gulzar, PhD, Faculty of Law. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. May I request the Honorable Education Minister to please present the PhD to Anamika Chauhan, Faculty of Education, Department of Teacher Training and Non-Formal Education. Honorable Minister to please present the PhD to Masroor Ali Qureshi from the Faculty of Natural Sciences, Department of Biotechnology. Bharat Pratap Singh, PhD from the Faculty of Social Sciences, Department of Political Science. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. It is a deep honor to introduce the chief guest for today's event, Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar. Sir, as Vice President of India, you hold a position of great significance. A visionary leader, Honorable Vice President's illustrious journey and numerous accomplishments have left an indelible mark on our nation's progress. His contributions in the field of arbitration and in championing social issues have touched the lives of countless citizens. Honorable Vice President is enrolled with the Bar Council of Rajasthan as an advocate since 1979 and holds an LLB degree from the University of Rajasthan. Designated as senior advocate by the High Court of Rajasthan since 1990, Shri Dhankar has primarily practiced in the Supreme Court with a particular focus on litigation in the areas of steel, coal, mining, and international commercial arbitration, among others. He's had a distinguished career in politics and held several important posts as a legislature. He was elected to the 9th Lok Sabha from the Jhunjhunu parliamentary constituency in the year 1989, was the Union Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs in 1990, elected to the Rajasthan Legislative Assembly in the year 1993, and also served as Governor of West Bengal from 2019 to July 2022. Honorable Vice President is also the Chancellor and visitor of several universities, including Chancellor ex officio Delhi University, Chancellor ex officio Punjab University, among others. May I invite the esteemed Honorable Vice President Shri Dhankar to kindly deliver the convocation address.
Good afternoon, all of you, and my greetings to you all on this great day. First, two things. One, I did invite the attention of the Honorable Minister to the last line. The time schedule has to be adhered. In the process, I was indicating that Chairman Rajya Sabha has the prerogative and right to relax it. And it was a befitting case of relaxation. Number two, me and the Honorable Minister were engrossed when there was thunderous applause in the theatre. We missed the point. I must acknowledge the gracious presence of my wife, Dr. Sudesh Dhankar. She wrote a chit and gave me what it was all about. I am therefore grateful to the learned Vice Chancellor for having invited her in her own capacity. Like a brilliant Vice Chancellor and academician, she could see that I would falter on occasions and there must be backup. Honorable Sri Dharmendra Pradhan Ji, Education Minister, Government of India, a man of action, a man of vision, a man who is good at both planning and execution. I know him for long. I am trying to find out his eating habits that keep him active the day around. Professor Nazma Akhtar, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, a picture of elegance and sublimity. And when I had the occasion to interact with her for the first time, I found she has no packaging, only performance. And that is reflected all around. Nothing can be achieved by a great institution unless the faculty contributes. Hats off to the faculty for doing all they have done all. We have in the audience very distinguished members, and pardon me, I'll be missing the names of some of them. If I take names of some and refer to them, it is on account of having been enlightened by them in my performance of duties in legal profession and while being governor and presently the vice president of the country. Sri Najib Jung, a man of his spinal strength, and all his former fellow vice chancellors who are present here. Being Vice President of India is a soothing aspect, but he carries another hat also, and that is Chairman Rajya Sabha, a formidable task. I must therefore recognize presence of Javed Ali Khan, enormously talented member of Rajya Sabha. Dharmendra ji, in his wisdom, rightly gave precedence to another distinguished honorable member of parliament from Lok Sabha, Danish Ali. Friends, we have in the audience a distinguished legal luminary, senior advocate from one of the most prestigious institutes in this country, Shri Vikram Banerjee, presently Additional Solicitor General. Excellencies, distinguished guests, and my dear students. It's a moment for me and my wife to ever cherish. It does not happen every other day. Convocations do take place, but a convocation of this nature, centenary convocation, comes in the life of someone very rarely, maybe providentially. I'm extremely delighted to be amidst you all on this momentous occasion of the centenary year convocation of Jamia Millia Ismaila, JMI, one of the leading universities in the country. I extend my heartiest congratulations to all who have been awarded degrees, graduating students, faculty members and staff for securing this milestone development for the university. Dear students, as graduates from this prestigious institution of learning, ever remember and never forget it. If you forget it, you will impeding your own progress. You owe your success, of course, to your diligence, to your hard work, but principally to your teachers, your parents, and your well-wishers. You have earned your degrees, but that does not mean there has to be quietus to learning or knowledge acquiring. You have to carefully cultivate this knowledge to harvest the wisdom. Enough has been said about the accomplishments of JMI. These are extraordinary accomplishments. This is an occasion to recognize the contribution of this institution and its illustrious alumni in national life. I take the opportunity to congratulate the Vice Chancellor, Professor Nazma Akhtar, recipient of the prestigious Padma Award in 2022 for her contributions, turning around contributions for JMI. In a record of sorts, making of history, she is the first woman Vice Chancellor of Jamia in its 100-year history. She would be an inspirational model for her gender all over. It is not statistics that Jamia is ranked among the 3 top universities of the country in the National Institutional Ranking Framework rankings. Much has gone behind it. Much effort has gone. Even in a river when you stand, to be at the same place, you have to keep on moving your feet. This is a repeat performance. I congratulate the Vice Chancellor, the faculty, and the students. Friends, the university has built academic and research alliances with universities and research institutions across the world. These are the times when we need to be in sync with similar institutions, when we need to be in synergetic mode so that there is enhancement of capacities of knowledge earning. It welcomes foreign students from more than 25 countries. Friends, I happen to be chairman of Indian Council of World Affairs. Indian Council of World Affairs will have an MOU with this prestigious institution, and I am sure that will help both the institutions. This will fructify before our Independence Day. When I look at the alumni of this great institution, it is difficult to take names. We have had pillars of strength, right from the top constitutional office down the line. But I would make one submission for consideration of everyone here. Alumni associations are great strength to ensure that every institute is on incremental trajectory. The growth will be geometrical once the alumni take it upon themselves. And therefore, the alumni of the institute must be always in proactive mode. As a matter of fact, there can't be a more involved think tank of development of an institution or a nation than the kind of people that constitute alumni of various institutions. Education is important, but something is more important, and that is link education to larger societal growth. The empowerment of human resource is a vital ingredient in nation building. The youth have to empower themselves, and I'm extremely concerned, therefore I'm putting it for your consideration. The youth have to empower themselves not by political intoxication, but through the mechanism of capacity building and personality development with the ultimate objective of nurturing a healthy environment and society. Honorable Minister rightly indicated that National Education Policy 2020, and it was a pleasant coincidence. It was on attainment of your centenary. But this has been a game changer. It provides greater flexibility to our young minds and brings the joy of learning back in education by emphasizing on innovation and skill development. The latter two are also in the domain of the Honorable Minister who handles these portfolios as well. I can tell you, friends, National Education Policy was evolved after 3 decades in this country, after considering inputs from all the stakeholders, and this was the need for Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity. This will catalyze into a big change. I find that in some parts of the country there is a requirement of adopting this policy. I am sure they will fall in line, reap the harvest and advantages of this great policy, because it is based on skill-based courses, vocational training, and giving a new dimension to our educational learning. Friends, it is crucial for students to become innovators, entrepreneurs, to establish their own startups, so that in this Amrit Kaal, our capable students emulate, I'm emphasizing emulate, young entrepreneurs who have increasingly emerged in this country as not job seekers, but job providers. And our record in this field, the number of unicorns we have, the number of startups we have, is a ground reality acknowledged by the world. I call upon my young friends to fully subscribe and immerse themselves in economic nationalism with all their energy and enthusiasm. Economic nationalism is a matter which must catch our attention in present times, as the world has become too small for everything and because of technology and connectivity. Friends, there can be no doubt. It is certainly not in national interest to compromise economic nationalism for fiscal gain. Those who are in business, industry, trade have to believe in the essence of economic nationalism and do not tilt and compromise it merely because there is an opportunity of only fiscal gain. Our country is a democracy, oldest and largest on the planet, most functional. We need to be fully aware that political and economic stakeholding cannot, should not be at the cost of economic nationalism, nation and nationalism. We have to take pride in our epochal, historic achievements, accomplishments, our rise that is recognized by the world. We have to always keep our nation first. My young friends who have got degrees, you will be stepping into your careers of choice. These are promising times. Accomplishments registered by nation make us all proud. We are proud Indians. We have to take pride in our nation and achievements. India is on the rise as never before, and the rise of the country is unstoppable. The upward growth trajectory of Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity, will be ever on upsurge mode because of the contributions of young minds and our youth. The Indian economy has proven to be remarkably resilient in the face of challenging global situations due to strong macroeconomic fundamentals that place it ahead of other emerging economies in the world. Friends, you will be happy to note that while India a decade ago was 11th largest economy, in September 2020, last year, we had a milestone achievement and we became the 5th largest economy on the planet. And in the process, we overtook our erstwhile colonial masters. By all indications, India will be the 3rd largest economy by turn of the decade. And with my young friends, the degree holders for the day, and like many of you in other institutions, you being warriors of 2047, you will determine what Bharat will be at 2047. And I have no doubt, with your commitment, direction, dedication, India will be at the peak in 2047. Friends, the world is stunned. It could have never imagined, and frankly, my generation could have never dreamed, the kind of digital revolution which the world is seeing in this country, the largest democracy that is so diversified. And what is the impact? Inefficiency and corruption has been rooted out. Governance has taken a new turn. The new norm is transparency and accountability. In 2022, to give you an illustration, and amongst many such instances, India registered digital payment transactions amounting to $1.5 trillion US. That was the figure. But if we see it in comparable situations, this transaction is more than 4 times the combined transactions in US, UK, Germany and France. Just imagine what kind of achievement has been there. In the process, I would call upon all of you to reflect and introspect. It's a Herculean task. It is not one-way traffic. It has to be both ways. which means every Indian in the village, semi-urban areas has equipped himself technologically to be recipient and to engage in such transactions. It's a big achievement. My generation never dreamt of it, and the world is recognizing it. Another milestone: out of 100 such transactions in the world, 46 are from our country. Those senior people sitting before me know how power corridors were infested, how work was leveraged, what was the role of middlemen. Now, thanks to governance policies and initiatives, thanks to focus on transparency and accountability, our power corridors have been sanitized of brokers who extra-legally leveraged governance to secure decisions and judgments. Gone are the days. As a matter of fact, they have been consigned to the dustbin of history with no hope of revival. IMF, an acknowledged body, recognized our digital development. I quote what it said: world-class digital public infrastructure serving as a model for other nations undergoing digital transformation. Another instance that will make all of us very proud, and that is as a result of contribution by all segments of the society, and thanks to effective governance policies and initiatives and vision of the Honorable Prime Minister. India has over 850 million smartphones. They are internet users. We Indians have amazing capacity to become eklavya and learn skills without formal tutoring. And the result of this is the per capita mobile data consumption last year exceeded consumption of China and the USA taken together. Friends, I was elected to Parliament for the first time in 1989, and I was a Union Minister. I am fully aware of the situation that existed then. The nation has transformed itself from being amongst the fragile five economies to being the top 5 economies in the world. Traversing from fragile 5 to top 5 is on account of vision of the Honorable Prime Minister being executed with the efforts of all. This is a proud moment for all of us to share. Look around the globe and you'll find India is the favorite destination of investment and opportunity. Everyone agrees about it. Wherever you go in the world, you'll find being an Indian, being holder of Indian passport, now has a different meaning. It has a magic meaning. People would love to interact with you. This big historic change has come about because growth of India has been propelled by concern of the man in the last line. Efforts have been made successfully to ensure the village has that technological empowerment as the metro, and that's a ground reality. India is in glorious moment of history. Our phenomenal, unprecedented, and rise is a defining moment of this century. This century belongs to India, and it's already being felt. And when India rises, there will be global harmony, global peace, global stability. No country can boast of civilizational ethos of thousands of years. Our cultural diversity, our cultural wealth is unrivaled on a global horizon. Recently, in last decade, series of systemic reforms and affirmative governance measures have been taken to ensure there is exponential growth in infrastructure. I need not tell this audience, you have seen it on the ground. We used to look around earlier, highways in that country, development in that country. Now we look in our country. Others look at us. Those who used to advise us on development at a point of time are seeking our advice. This is a welcome change, thanks to the leadership and our people. Entire world is eager to partner with India. Could you ever imagine the kind of visit, the success of it, which the Honorable Prime Minister had in the United States, in France, in UAE, in last 2 weeks, how impactful it was, and his address to Congress and Senate in the US was that of a global statesman. Our Prime Minister is reckoned as a global statesman whose voice is always for sanity and welfare of humanity. It was he who said, we are not living in an era of expansion, a historic declaration by India's Prime Minister. And with respect to an issue going recently, for a year or so, he made no declaration except war is no solution to a problem. Dialogue and diplomacy alone have to secure it. India's relevance in global resolution of issues was never so prominent as it is today. But friends, when India grows, when you avail opportunities, when you make impact all around, there are challenges also. Your progress can't be to the like of everyone. There are pernicious forces with sinister design to taint, tarnish, and demean your institutions, your growth. Unfortunately, some of them are amongst us. I appeal to young minds to take initiatives and neutralize these forces by your actions. I have no doubt you all will do it. When the present norm and governance mechanism is transparency and accountability, where corruption has no place. That being so, stakeholders in corruption have converged into a group. They are marshalling all forces to find cover and escape. We owe to the nation, all of us, each one of us, particularly the youth. Corruption means your growth impeded. Corruption means your opportunities curtailed. Corruption means patronage taking main stage. All antithetical to equitable growth and equal opportunities. We owe to the nation to ensure there is no dilution of zero tolerance for corruption. It is soothing to note that all escape routes of violators of law, whomsoever they may be, no one can claim to be above law. Whatever lineage you have, whatever position you may have, you are accountable to law because we are a democracy run by law. Violators of law engaged in corruption, all avenues have been largely plugged. But it is concerning then when judicial process is set in motion, when law is taking its own course, why should those feeling the heat of law take to streets? It is for you all to think. We have a robust mechanism of redressal of grievance in judicial system. If someone suffers a notice from court, from an agency, the only way open in any democracy is to take recourse to lawful means. Certainly not to take to streets. street demonstration to challenge the rule of law is not hallmark of a good governance or a democracy of our nature. I am sure young minds will focus on it, do all they can do in what is in their might to see that these forces are discouraged. Friends, vision and execution of Prime Minister, be in the field of infrastructure or infusion of technology, has been at unprecedented speed and scale. I'll tell you, the new Parliament building, less than 2.5 years. Now people think a building has come up. I can tell you much more than that has come up. Everything inside. So many factors were taken into consideration. The best of technology. You could never have imagined that this could be attained in such a short period, at a time when, along with the world, we were also facing pandemic COVID. Friends, you all are feeling the positive impact of it as a consequence of series of governmental policies and initiatives. We have an ecosystem in place now that allows every young mind to unleash his or her energy, to channelize that, to exploit potential and talent, and to realize their dreams and aspirations. During our time, we didn't have that ecosystem. We had to struggle largely. But now, if you have an idea, the system helps you enormously, something which we could not have thought of. As warriors of 2047, I am addressing my young friends. I urge you all, young minds, dedicate yourself to find novel solutions to challenges facing our country. You must draw upon insights instilled by your alma mater and utilize them to contribute towards nation building. It was emphasized by the Honorable Vice Chancellor, the importance of education. I would invite a reflection by Father of the Nation, Mahatma Gandhi, what he said. I quote, "Education should be so revolutionized as to answer the wants of the poorest villager," unquote. I think this is the ultimate test. And that is exactly what is happening. Where in every house you have electricity, every house has a gas connection, every house has a null connection. That is being accomplished. The dream of Mahatma Gandhi is being realized when India is in its present calm. As citizen of the largest democracy, home to 1/6 of humanity, it is duty of every citizen, especially the youth, to ensure that our country's natural resources, whether water, petroleum, minerals, they are optimally utilized for development and economic activities. Now I wonder myself, and I am sure you will share my concern, how can use of these resources be determined by your pocket? Your pocket can determine what kind of house you have, what kind of furniture you have. But when it comes to utilization of these resources, natural resources, all of us are trustees of those resources. There has to be equitable distribution of them. And therefore, let us have a culture that utilization of natural resources will be optimal as per your need, not certainly as per your financial capacity. Friends, this is a great university. It's on the rise. I would therefore invite your attention that in similar theatres outside this country, they have become breeding grounds to set afoot anti-India narrative on untenable grounds. In the process, they use our students, our faculty members. This cannot be allowed. I'm not saying you be blind in approving every governmental action. Be discreet, be judgmental, be inquisitive, focus on objectivity, and then deal with such situations. It is surprising that those who have had the occasion to serve this country in one position or the other, the moment they lose their position, they turn Nelson's High to the great advancement which our country is making all around. I am sure young minds will take note of this, take proactive steps, and Jamia is the right place where impressionable young minds will catalyze an ecosystem where such anti-national narratives in the country or abroad will not only be neutralized but decimated. Such misinformation cannot be allowed to be traded. Friends, today's convocation is indeed a moment of great pride and satisfaction for you, your families, and Jamia Millia Islamia, the institution that nurtured you throughout your academic journey. Today, you will become part of prestigious alumni, some of whom are present here. With this honor comes a tremendous responsibility as you step out in the world to make your mark. You carry a tag, and you carry a tag of being a degree holder from an institution that is more than a century old. You have a promising career, promising future, but do not get into the canal mode. I often say, a canal is drawn on a paper. Be like a river. Meander, choose your own path. Act as per inclinations and aptitude. Never allow to be dictated when it comes to your idea. Never have the fear of failure. The moment you have fear of the failure, you will not be intrepid or enterprising. And that the nation cannot afford, that our young people are so impeded in their action mode. If you have an idea, I beseech you, I call upon you, please act on it. And trust me, no one has succeeded with an idea in the first instance. An attempt was made to land on the moon, but was it successful in the first instance? And that happens with number of historic developments that have really catered to the needs of humanity as never before. I would invite your attention to what Maulana Abul Kalam Azad and what he said, I quote, "To succeed in your mission," and mind you, he was a man of action. He was involved with ISRO. He had his failures. He has reflected on them. If youngsters would look at his failures in ISRO, the failures were success in future, a stepping stone to success that made him what he is remembered for. I quote, "To succeed in your mission, you must have single-minded devotion to your goal," unquote. As mentioned by him on another occasion, I again quote, "Great dreams of great dreamers are always transcended. But those who only dream, have good idea in their mind, allow their mind to be a parking space for dreams, ideas, are not impactful in history." You have to be impactful, all of you, till the end, and all like you. We must always remember, and a distinction that is unique to us, we are the largest, oldest democracy that is functional at all levels. I'll tell you, no country in the world can take pride that it has a structured constitutional democracy of the kind we have. Our constitution provides for democracy at the village level, constitution. At the panchayat level, panchayat samiti level, Jilla Parishad level, and of course we have at the state level and the central level. Core democracy values are deeply embedded in our civilizational ethos. They always guide us. And that is why under the Indian presidency of G20, the motto is one earth, one family, one future. And we demonstrated it. When the world was witnessing pandemic, we had COVID Maitri taking care of our 1.3 billion people We were also helping several other countries with Covaxin. That justifies and vindicates the motto that is there. Friends, a concern I must share with you. The elite intelligentsia is present here. Young minds are present here. Some from parliament are also here. What is democracy? Democracy is all about dialogue, discussion, deliberation, and debate to secure public good. Surely democracy can't be disturbance. It can't be disruption. Disruption and disturbance are antithetical to a sense of democratic values. I am pained, anguished to indicate to you all that disturbance and disruption have been weaponized as a strategic means to taint the temples of democracy that should be functional 24/7 to secure justice for the people at large. There can be no alibi for not making parliament functional every second. People of this country are paying huge price for it. But I am not on the financial implication of it. I am on the larger issue. When there is disruption in parliament on a particular day, there can't be question hour. Question hour is a mechanism to generate accountability and transparency in governance. The government is obligated to respond to every question and to the supplementaries that are raised. This goes to enormous benefit of governance. Everyone is on track. Not having a question hour can never be rationalized when you think in terms of democratic values and good governance. दोस्तों, आज के हालात कितने विचित्र हो गए। असहमति को तो स्वाभाविक है, आवश्यक नहीं है कि हमारी बात पर सहमत हों। हम असहमत हो सकते हैं, अलग अलग विचार हो सकते हैं, पर असहमति को विरोध में बदलना जनतंत्र के लिए अभिशाप से कम नहीं है। भारतीय संस्कृति और सभ्यता की मूल भावना से मेल नहीं खाता है। असहमति करो, इसको विरोध मत मानो। संवाद की डोर मानवता और प्रजातंत्र के जीवन की डोर है। If we cut off communication, whether in the family or society, and of course, it has draconian consequences if such disconnect is there in temples of democracy. इसमें खिंचाव और गांठ जन कल्याण के लिए हितकारी नहीं हो सकते। एक छत के नीचे विरोध और असहमति स्वाभाविक है। विरोध का प्रतिशोध में बदलना प्रजातंत्र के लिए हितकारी नहीं है। इसका एक ही निदान है डायलॉग, एक ही निदान है विचार विमर्श। आई एम श्योर it is obligation for every citizen of the largest democracy to generate an ecosystem. Your voice matters more than anything else. You are the greatest stakeholders in growth of this country and blossoming of democracy. प्रजातंत्र में प्रतिघात का कोई स्थान नहीं है। यही हमारी हजारों साल की संस्कृति और अमृत है। Friends, I would conclude. I leave you with a thought, and that thought was imparted to the nation by architect of Indian Constitution, Dr. Ambedkar. And that was when he was addressing the Constituent Assembly on the last day. His concluding address to the Constituent Assembly on 25th November 1949, and what he said, and never forget what he said. I would not say more. I would only quote him. Quote, "It is not that India was never an independent country. The point is that she once lost the independence. We were independent earlier. We lost independence. She had We lost independence. He continues, we'll still lose it a second time. What perturbs me greatly is the fact that not only India has once before lost its independence, but she lost it how? According to Dr. Ambedkar, she lost it by the infidelity and treachery of some of her own people. Unquote. We cannot allow this to happen. We have to be truthful to our founding fathers. We have to believe in the nation. We cannot have any other culture except to put the nation always ahead of anything else. And this is not optional. This is not imperative. This is the only way to ensure our democracy blossoms and prospers. Friends, I compliment all the graduating students, their teachers and parents. May GMI continue to scale greater heights in the years to come. I have no doubt it will keep on rising higher and higher. And the medical college, and the hospital would sure be of the highest benchmark on a global horizon. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Honorable Sir, for such inspiring words and for firing the imagination of our young students and such warm blessings to our graduating students. I now invite the Registrar, Professor Nazim Hussain Jafri, to request permission from the Vice Chancellor to officially conclude the convocation and declare it closed.
Madam Vice Chancellor, may I, with your permission, declare the convocation closed. With the permission of the Vice Chancellor, I declare the convocation closed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Ladies and gentlemen, we conclude this ceremony by playing the national anthem. Please stand for the anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. Please keep standing till the VIPs have left the auditorium. I request the academic procession to please follow the VIPs. The procession to follow in the same manner. I request everyone to please keep standing till the procession and the VIPs have left the auditorium. All the dignitaries, guests, faculty members and media personnel are requested to join us for high tea at the atrium, which is to my left. Students are requested to join us for high tea in the foyer, which is at the end of this auditorium.